Again, welcome back to the Johnny B Show. This is a part of the show where I like to call Speak My Mind. In today's Speak My Mind, I like to share the books I have been reading the last couple of weeks. Some really good stuff. The Fair Tax Plan by Neil Boortz and Congressman John Linder. This is a very great book, and I hope this book will become a reality. This book is about the Fair Tax Plan. What a Fair Tax Plan, what it is a national sales consumption that instead of the government collecting income, capital, and whatever taxes they do collect in order to have revenue for different government programs. The Fair Tax Plan replaces all of that. What it does is at the national retail level, let's say like you buy a pack of gum. You buy a pack of gum, but what you do is you pay the sales tax instead. And this is not an add-on to the tax program that we have right now. It's a complete replacement. And this idea did not come from John Linder or Neil Boortz. In fact, it came from different businessmen across the nation. And the way it came about is when one day when the business realized how much time they were wasting on how to make money because of the tax code, they decided, is there a better way for us to make money? And what the tax code really does, it hinders profit. You work hard, but yet you don't get the full reward. And the Fair Tax Plan, if it became a reality, our economy will do 180. Next book I'm reading is called Code of the Samurai by Thomas Cloy. Code of the Samurai is a great short literature book that I read one chapter a day or one section. It's about how the samurai during ancient Japanese time and how they lived their lives. They had a very high honor to themselves, to their families, and they believe death is an honorable thing. As a born-again believer that, I accept Christ as my personal Savior, and I believe that once I pass on this earth, I will be in heaven with Christ. But this is a good book because it gives a different perspective on cultures, and it's got a lot of good, truthful insights, that I can apply to my daily life. Next book. This is one of my favorite books right here. It's The Art of War, Sun Tzu, but the author that writes it, Stephen W. Michelson, he writes The Art of War for Execution. Now this is a great business book to read, especially if you want to think about managing your own business, because this focuses on execution. Execution is a bottom line to success. You either succeed or fail based upon your execution. And you could have the greatest game plan in the world, but if you cannot execute it to its full maximum efficiency, then you will not succeed at all. And this is a great book to read, Sun Tzu, Art of Execution. I love this book. Last but not least, this book I just finished up and it took me about 3 days to read. That's how good it was. Do the Right Thing by former Governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee. Now, personally, this was a guy that I selected last year to hopefully become the Republican nominee for our election, but that did not come out to be. And the reason why I did not think this came out to be because there's a lot of so-called fake Republicans out there that, they'll put the conservative mask on when it comes to votes, but they'll go back to Washington and yet they won't do what their principle says they'll do, This is a man of true principle, a true conservative. And if I felt the Republican nominees selected Mike Huckabee, I believe he could have beaten Obama. Because personally, McCain and Obama, they're just like the same pretty much, The only difference is we know Obama is a true liberal, but McCain, he likes to put on his little conservative mask every now and then. But this is a great book by Mike Huckabee, Do the Right Thing, and it's got really some good insights about a lot of common sense, a lot of practical things on how, as a nation, we could do better. He's a strong proponent for the Fair Tax Plan, and he's starting this thing called vertical politics. Now, Johnny B Speak My Mind. Yes, I'm going to speak a lot about a lot of political things, even though there's a lot of pastors that try to avoid it. But I believe political things are very, very important. If you have a job and you're paying taxes and everything, you're part of the political system whether you like it or not. And I believe as a person that's working, I believe we should know everything that needs to know about political systems. That way it helps us to make better judgments when it comes to election time and helps us to select better leaders to lead our tomorrow. And that is it for the first intro of Speak My Mind. There's going to be plenty of good stuff. I'm going to share different types of literature. One of the things I do love is my favorite sports is UFC. So when there's a big old UFC fight coming up, I will share my predictions of the fight. And thank you for tuning in on Speak My Mind. Next segment is Exercise of the Week. Dumbbell pullover on a stability ball is a great exercise to do. The stability ball will keep my core muscles tight. You will need a dumbbell. It does not matter what weight you used. The dumbbell stability pullover primarily works my rib cage. This exercise is done on a stability ball, keeping my upper and middle back perpendicular on the ball. I start with my hands on a dumbbell, and then I bring the dumbbell over my head, then I go forward with it like a crunch motion. My arms are straight, elbows slightly bent. When I'm going forward, I breathe out. When I'm going back, breathe in. This is a great exercise to do. Start off 8 to 10 repetitions.